Welcome to Skinterviews. I am your host. My name is George Scandalis, and this is my sexy co-host,
Nathan Strom.
Nathan, what's going on with that eye, man?
You know what? I've had a bad run of luck, to be honest. And
like, I'm just going to tell you straight up. It looks like you got your wife a shitty gift for Mother's Day and she clocked you one.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It could either be that or our next guest could have popped something that got in your eye.
That could be a high possibility as well.
I'm so excited about our guest today. Like,
so am I. You know,
fan standing right now. I'm like, ah!
You know what, George? I lose literally hours on the couch when we put the kids to bed at night, and I get my phone and I go on Instagram. As soon as I go on this lady's page, I can lose hours just watching her videos. It's unbelievable.
I have gotten in massive fights with my better half because he refuses to watch any, and I could watch for hours and hours and hours. And the gorier, the better. I want to hear the pop. I want to see it squirt. It sounds like we're talking about porn, eh? We should stop it, eh? Right? So, you know what? Enough of my banter, because everybody's here today to get to know this amazing dermatologist on a personal level. She is the author of Put Your Best Face Forward. Pick it up, buy it, read it today. She's no joke, guys. She's got 5.3 million followers or subscribers on YouTube, 3.3 million followers on IG. Her videos have been viewed over 3 billion times. 1 billion is just for me. I'm positive about that. If you watch her on TLC, you will know her from her reality show, Dr. Pimple Popper, which is the name she's most known as. But today, we're going to learn all about, without further ado, Dr. Sandra Lee. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. What a nice introduction. And stressful. You're going to find out a lot more about me? That's kind of scary.
Oh, we want to know more than just the pop.
Well, thank you for having me on. This is so lovely.
Well,
Really
thank you for doing this. That's so lovely of you, and especially with how busy you are.
Well, I'm at home, like I'm not in the office here. So, you got my undivided attention now for sure.
Has COVID stopped all the popping temporarily?
COVID has stopped the popping, yes, in general. There's some things that we deal with in the office, mainly more skin cancer and emergent situations. But yes, there's no active popping right now.
Even with the downtime right now, there is so much going on in the background. How do you find any time between writing a book, doing a reality show, filming all the little videos, making sure that you appease all the fans like that watch from home, like me, that wants to see all those pops? Plus, you also got a skincare line, SLMD Skincare. How?
I don't know. When you say it like that, you just stress me out. I think because they're all related. They're all really related in a sense. So I'm coming from the same place, and I definitely realized quickly that I am AAA personality, type A. I don't think I even knew this until really this kind of started. Well, I guess I knew it a little bit at work, but I'm always trying to find myself busy. Like, I cannot just watch TV. I have to do like other things at the same time, and it drives my husband like crazy, because I got to do 5 different things. Like my favorite show, I love to play games on my phone. Like, I'm attached to my phone, and my games that I play are multitasking games. Like the ones where you're like at Sally's Spa and you got to like manage the people coming in, and then like making sure their massages and they're happy, and then this one wants a facial, and then this one wants like I'm like, those are like the games I live for, which is weird, but that's like my life,
I love that. And now, since we're talking about your life, we're going to start the interview and take you right back all the way to the beginning.
Oh, okay.
All right. You enter the world. You take your first breath. Mom and Dad look at you. We are going to name this beautiful baby. Full name.
My name is Sandra Lee Xiuping. Xiuping Lee is my middle name, which is my Chinese name.
Okay.
I was born in Queens in New York. So that was my name. Sandra Lee was my name, and I've met many other Sandra Lees in my lifetime.
Were you named after anybody specific, or is there any other meaning to your name?
No, I don't think so. I do know that I was, everybody would sing that song to me, Grease the Sandra D, and look at me, I'm Sandra D. That's what I get all the time. But no, I don't think so. I do, I think my parents told me I was almost named Samantha, which would have been cool too, because I like names that are like a masculine kind of name that you can shorten, like Charlie or something, or Sam. But yeah,
Well,
that Sandra Lee. So
you suit your name. I
yeah.
could imagine you as a Samantha.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I don't love it when people call me Sandra or Sandy. I don't think I'm a Sandra or Sandy, but
No, you're definitely Sandra Lee. I like that. And you know what? It's one of those names that you can't just say Sandra. I don't know. Does anybody call you Sandra, or do they all say Sandra Lee?
no, people call me Sandra, but I do think that when people call me Sandra Lee, they're usually from like the South, I think, because I feel like that's like the full first name for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was making a reservation at a restaurant in LA, and this woman, I said, my name is Sandra Lee. And she said, oh, that's my name too. I wonder if we're related. I'm related to Robert E. Lee. And I was like, I don't think so. We'll see when I see you in person.
I love it. So tell me, do you have siblings?
I do. I have a brother. I have a younger brother who's 5 years younger. And just the two of us, which is actually a little bit surprising, I think, because my parents come from huge families, or maybe not surprising. They have 10 kids on both sides,
Wow.
So a lot of relatives. Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. I love that. And you were born in Queens, New York, and then you moved to the West Coast at some point.
Yeah, like at 5. So I'm pretty much a California girl. So, but
totally California girl.
I
love it. And then you have your own family.
I do. I have a husband who's also a dermatologist. I met him in medical school, and then I have 2 boys as well. So yeah, I'm the only female here, which is good and bad, I suppose.
You're totally outnumbered. What a beautiful family.
Yeah, I do love them. They're good. They're good kids too. And my husband is the most behaved when he's sleeping, but that's all right too.
Most husbands are.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about school growing up out west.
I went to school in my area. I'm from Upland, California, which is like between LA and Palm Springs. And I did go to a private high school. I was in public school until high school. And actually my high school is a different kind of school because it was a boarding school as well, though I wasn't a boarder. So it's a small school, but I have a lot of love for the school. I think that it really did help to sort of shape my personality, and really it was a very international school. There were a lot of people from Asia, a lot of people from the Middle East, a lot of people from across on the other side of the nation. So I think that was a really wonderful way to grow up with the influence that is really like multicultural and international.
Beautiful.
And so was being a doctor always on the cards, or was there something else at some stage?
No, I think when I was young, I really wanted to. I loved fashion. I would go to Joann's Fabrics, which is like I don't know if that's in Canada or not, but I would go and get like drapery and like make a skirt out of it. I mean, it would fall apart like by the end of the season, but that didn't matter. It's like Zara, you buy it and it's gone the next season. But it was that's what I would have loved to do. Like when Project One Way came out, oh my gosh, I love that show. I wanted to be on that show. So
they should do a celebrity version of that show and get you on.
Oh, that would be awesome, please. I mean, well, I don't know if I could do that now. I mean, first of all, I don't think I have time for that, but I have other obligations that people will get, I'll get in trouble if I don't fulfill, but I would love to do that. That would be so much fun.
So heroes growing up, who did you look up to as a young kid?
Like somebody outside of like like a person that's untouchable, or somebody maybe that was in my life.
Anyone that helped influence you.
I mean, a lot of the people that I grew up with are big role models. Obviously, my parents, my father in particular, he's a dermatologist. So I really think all of the best things about or the things that I learned really, or the things that I'm most proud of as a dermatologist, the qualities that maybe I'm proud of are really from him and like the things that he has told me. But I will say that also when I've told him like specifically about something he told me that had a big impact on me, he's like, I don't remember ever saying that. You know, that kind of thing is like, I don't know. I'm like, you said that. He's like, okay, whatever. But you know, he is definitely a big role model. And I mean, just things that you go through life. And you know, it's not like I thought this was my dream job, but it really definitely was in my radar more so than the average person because my father's a dermatologist. And so that was the opportunity that I got to see how great a specialty it is. But you know, it is the people that you go through in life. I just think I was lucky to really meet some people, like my residency program in Illinois. I was in the middle of Springfield, Illinois, very different than where I grew up, where I didn't have any friends there or know anybody, but such a wonderful program. You know, dermatologists that I've worked with, had the opportunity to work with. There are some that maybe wouldn't be so great to work with, and you don't know what you're going to get into, but I worked with wonderful people. Dr. Fitzpatrick, who's like a famous guy in San Diego. And so I've just been lucky in that sense, I suppose.
And do you have a story from your childhood that was maybe funny or very memorable that you'd like to share with us today?
I mean, my life is like a comedy, I suppose. But I mean, I think of just from a dermatology perspective, I mean, I don't know how funny this is, but maybe it's crazy. I mean, like I grew up with like textbooks. My dad loves to read. He when he was a kid, he was really poor, and that was his dream, was like bookstores. And so he buys every book, you know, like everything has books. So we had textbooks at home of skin dermatology. You know, first of all, I'm completely fearful of spiders because my dad messed me up because we had this book of up close on insects. And I don't know if you've ever seen, you might not want to Google like what a spider looks like up close, like with their 8 eyes and they're just like, oh, even a butterfly. Don't even look at a butterfly. If you think they're beautiful, do not look at one looks like. That messed me up. I mean, but what I remember one messed me up, this is more, not as funny, but more gross. But, you know, I just had pictures of things that like I guess I'm not grossed out by things because I've seen some pictures of them, some things, just some issues, you know, that you're like, whoa, you know, that kind of thing.
That's amazing. Tell me about high school. I want to know high school prom. What was your dress like being a fashion person?
You know, I had a pretty simple dress. It was a really pretty color, but like, oh, there I am with the 2 balloons, but I had really short hair. That was actually a little bit on the long side. It used to be really even shorter. Also, the picture to the left, I had, you could see my scalp on the side. It was very like Demi Moore, like from Ghost.
Yeah.
You know, it was that time. And I was, you know, I went to, I lived near LA, so I would get my, I know that I'm embarrassed to say, I would get my hair cut like at like a really fancy salon out there, you know.
Yeah.
And I had like this crazy style, but I changed it once because I noticed that people would think I was a guy from behind. Like I would be sitting with my girlfriends like at lunch and say, "Can I help you guys?" and gentlemen, and then I'd turn around and I was like, "Okay, this is good."
So living out in LA, I mean, and I want to know if and I don't know if you're allowed to say, doctor-patient confidential. Tell me some celebrities either you've treated their skin, or you have a celebrity crush that you got to meet at some point.
I don't think I can say who I've actually treated unless they have said something themselves, but I will say that it is just in general, people who are popaholics, which is what we call like you, for example. So you're a hard popper, I hear. You're not a soft popper. You're a hard pop. Yeah.
I'm hardcore.
Yeah. You're a hard popper. Yeah. But what was I going to say again? I forgot you're a hard popper. I totally really for a loop.
Your celebrity crush.
Oh, I mean, I have a lot of celebrity. I mean, I have a lot of celebrity crushes, but I don't know whether they are popaholics. But I do think that they probably have heard of me before. I don't know if they know that by my face, you know what I mean? But I would love to like be able to be one of the interviewers on a red carpet and just stand there with a doctor's coat and see who comes up to me, because I do think a lot of people, I think that popaholics really, it really normalizes everybody. Like you can be, you don't know who that person is in the bunch.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's a total cult.
Yeah, it crosses everything, like religions, ethnicity, it doesn't matter. There's usually one in the bunch, but then if you know that somebody is, and even if they're your outer circle, you instantly bond with them, right? You know that, yeah. So like, I feel like, well, is Ryan Gosling? I mean, is he? That would be really freaking cool. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Do you sing in your shower?
I do. I am I'm kind of a singer. I'm not a good singer, but I do. And that comes from my dad. He likes to sing too. So he would, I could find him in a bookstore if we were like, you'd go to a bookstore. That's how you babysit me pretty much, and I would hear him whistling slow. That's how I would find him. Cause I used to be taller, like I said before, and I wouldn't be able to see, I wouldn't be able to know where he was. So that's what I do. I sing.
What's the last song you sang in your shower?
Probably like, I sing like old song, Que Sera or something. Whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. Que Sera, Sera.
Yeah!
Or something like that. Or Guantanamera. I don't know why it's different language, but I don't even know how to say it right. Yeah. La Bamba or something. Excellent, right? No.
We should do a whole show of Skinterviews karaoke with you.
Oh, right. Well, I have to have a little alcohol. I have to have a little liquor for that, but sure.
All right, we're buying. We're
yeah.
Done. Growing up, were you bullied?
Being Asian probably was something that I'm one of those, and there's this sort of culture, I guess, in Asianness that there are people who just hang out with fellow Asians, and there are people that do the opposite. And I was sort of the opposite. Like I kind of was somebody who didn't really didn't really want to hang out with just all Asian people,
Yeah.
And I think so. But I actually am really, I don't know if it's that I am not, people don't look at me now and think that I'm not Asian, or just maybe my attitude to her. I've thought about this before, like, because I see other people, especially right now with Asians. And I think just in the situation right now, I think people are mentioning that Asians are sort of getting more racism, against them. But I always think, I sometimes think to myself, do people look at me as a physician here and think that I'm Asian first? And I don't know if it's my attitude towards it. I don't think so. And I'm kind of proud of the fact that I don't think people look at me and say, oh, she's Asian, and distinguish that. And I also don't think that they look at me and say I'm female, and that she should or should not be doing her things because she's female. So I'm pretty proud of those things. And I don't know if it's from me personally. I don't know. It might be from my schooling. Like I said, back in high school, I was in a school that was very international, and you never judge somebody by the color of their skin or where they came from, or even how much money they had. Really, you really judge them by their personality. And I think that was a very good thing to be brought up, at that time in your life.
Well, I think part of the fact is that you are such a larger than life personality. It really comes across, even if you don't mean to. So no one really looks at you and says, oh, she's a woman, or oh, she's Asian, oh, she's a dermatologist. You are Sandra Lee.
That's a nice thing to say, I guess. I'm going to tell my husband that. I'm Sandra Lee. Sandra Lee Rebish, but
He doesn't watch the show. I'll find out.
Oh, yeah. You know what my husband hates the most is, not hate the most, but it irks him, is when people come to see him and say, are you Mr. Dr. Pimple Popper? He hates that. So I started an Instagram page for him, and it's called Mr. Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, well,
So.
my sister is just new on social media, and she's kind of the same way. First of all, she's a huge fan. If I didn't tell you, she told me she would kick my butt. But her Instagram is George's sister.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's her branding. That's how she branded herself.
Yeah,
George, so
right. Well, obviously, you are the larger than life, right?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So it makes sense that he would be Mr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Great branding there. So
I love my hair, by the way. It is quite excellent. Yes.
It's a lot of hairspray holding it together.
Yeah, but from the side too, it's like kind of pompadour, like very nice. Yes, it's gonna give me some inches. I need that. Yeah.
I wanted to go that way, but I'm going this way in COVID. So
I know, but this distracts though, right? This is helpful because it's slimming to be taller.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna just stand up here.
Let's talk. Have you cut your hair, or is this normally how it is? Have you been able to cut your hair?
No, I haven't at all. And if you see
growing longer.
Product, I look like I'm in the Beatles. It is pin straight. It could be like Asian hair, absolutely pin straight, except very thin and flat to my face.
But that's actually, I mean, like I used to not like that. We always want the other thing, like the curly hair but I think it's more versatile to have that kind of hair because you can curl it. It's much harder to straighten something.
Yeah. I've seen you with your big waves.
Yeah, it's fun. Right? I did when I was a kid. When I was in high school, my mom once took me to JCPenney's and I got a perm. When back in the day we got a perm, and this person used like this curlers that were like this big. I looked like I stuck my finger in an electric socket. I remember that was. I remember going down the stair, like the escalator, and like wanting to cry. When you're like.
Well, there's the funny story you wanted to remember right there.
You do this to me, George. You're bringing back some memories.
I love it. When I come out to LA, we're gonna have dinner and a pimple pop.
Okay.
All right.
George's sister might show up. It sounds like.
Nice.
Let's talk dinner.
Yeah, let's talk dinner. So, who's the big cook in your house? Is it you or your husband?
I mean, I am not a cook. I am not a cook. I say that I know how to cook, but I choose not to because I don't enjoy it. And the reason is I would totally enjoy it if somebody bought all the stuff, chopped it up for me, put it all in nice bowls, and then I could stand there and put it together and then cleaned it for me. Like that would be amazing. But other than that, I'm like, I got no time for this kind of thing.
Right.
And also the more I cook, then the more I eat. So like, I'm not like, why am I going to stand over that? You know what I mean? So my mom, I'm really lucky. My mom is a spectacular cook. She's, she cooks Malaysian and Singaporean food. It's really good. Yes, she's really good. And so we go to her house, not right now. Now she actually, I'm so embarrassed to say, she cooks sometimes for us, like once a week, and she puts it outside and we it's the way she shows love, and she's such a good cook. And so we used to do that 2-3 times a week. So that's what we would do.
Okay, so I've got a question for you then. You're hosting people for dinner. Your mum's obviously cooking.
Yes, that happens actually. Yes.
You're able to invite 3 people for dinner, and you're allowed to invite Skinterviews as well. Apart from us two, who would the other 3 people you would invite for dinner? They can be dead or alive, and why would you bring them for dinner?
I don't think I have 3 single people. I think part of what I love about what I do as a dermatologist is it allows you to meet random people and get to know them. And that to me is really fascinating. So like the shows that I've always really liked, or the kinds of social media channels that I really like, are like Humans of New York, or On the Road with Charles Kuralt, or that one, Everyone Has a Story, where he would throw the dart and you would just look up in the phone book. Like I love stuff like that because that's what I get. That's part of what I try to show in my YouTube. And I think part of what make it successful is really like you get to love these people even though you never see them. Yeah. And so I would say like pick 3 people out of the phone book or something. And, I don't know. There's no foot. I mean, it'd have to be screened too. I mean, we need a COVID test now, that, and there's a lot of stuff that has to go on. But yeah.
I love
it. Yeah. So you're such a busy person. What does Dr. Sandra Lee do in her spare time when you want to wind down or just relax?
I'm either my mind is worrying and I'm thinking about something else to do, or I'm doing right now I just took up a little embroidery. Like, I like to do things with my hands. So I'm creating like these little cacti, I guess, like an embroidery, my first little embroidery project. But also I'm on the opposite side. If you get me started, you'll find me in my bed the whole day with like potato chips. Don't tell everybody that I eat potato chips. But my husband says my side of the bed has like pebbles all in it. Like I got like all this stuff over there. But I could be watching, just reality TV. That's like what I need. So I'm either opposite, one or the other.
Okay, cool. And so when it's a normal work day, what's the first thing you do when you get out of bed in the morning?
I pee. That'll be the first thing I do, right? Yeah. I brush my teeth. I wash my hands and brush my teeth. That's the first thing I do. I wake up at the last possible moment.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So am I. I'm like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about business. I would love to know if there was one thing that no one knows about your profession, or most people don't know about your profession. What would you like them to know?
There's things that I would probably like people to know, but I'm hopefully showing them in my videos. I don't know if I have not shown something about dermatology. Maybe like the fact. So I try to be an open book and show people how amazing it is. Okay, I think that a lot of people though think that my whole life is pimple popping, and it is not that. That is such a tiny bit of what we actually do. Probably like more controversial, which I do avoid in social media, is because I don't like to, cause any strife. I'm pretty much like, let's all just be happy and just do our thing, is that I do think that a lot of dermatologists feel there's sort of encroachment in our specialty by other physicians or other non-physicians, and social media kind of allows us to grow to quite a big social media can be very misleading too. Like, there are people who have a lot of followers who are not dermatologists, but people might think that they are, or that they are experts. It's sort of becoming like the web, the World Wide Web, where you think that this is truth because it's coming from this person, but it really might not be accurate. So I think that is probably something that I would like people to know, but I try to show it. I try to do it in a positive way. I just try to show what I do. And I don't want to bring anyone down. We're all trying to do, hopefully, most of us at least, are trying to do the right thing. So.
Yeah, and has there been any obstacles in your career that you've had to face? And do you have any advice for anyone young coming into the dermatology space that you would give them when they're first starting out?
There are definitely obstacles that I face, and I definitely believe that it is the failures in my life that actually brought me to where I am. If this is a great position, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I am very grateful for my profession. I'm very grateful for the life that I have. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, I think I grew up in a privileged home, but I also things weren't really handed to me. I think the things that I had to fight for are the things that I really appreciate. And I think that really helped me to be a better dermatologist. I mean, I didn't get into dermatology right away, and that is very difficult thing to grapple with, especially when everybody matches on the same day in our medical school, and you're like one of the very few that don't know what you're doing, and everybody else is celebrating, for example, and then you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if you're even going to get into it, or where this is what you've been going, your direction you've been going your whole life, and now suddenly it's not there. And I think that it's just like that with a lot of things. I think that the challenges that we face and how we address them are really what make us stronger, and I strongly believe in that. So I think that it's actually necessary and important to fail. I mean, I don't wish that upon people. I certainly don't wish that upon my own kids. But honestly, I think that that makes you reassess and makes you think about what's really important to you and whether this is really important to you, because life is a journey. Right?
When you started all this, did you ever imagine you would reach this much of a following? I mean, dermatologists don't
Pimple popping. No.
And do you find that now that you've reached that following, I mean, when I think of an actor, because I did a lot of acting in my life, when I think of myself as an actor, if I reach that big place in my acting career where I received fame and notoriety for what I do, that with it comes a lot of things like, some of your private life is always exposed. You started off as a dermatologist and you're at, over 3 billion views. Do you feel that it's exposed you in a celebrity manner that makes you uncomfortable at any times?
Absolutely. I mean, I am not used to, it's like, it made me realize that, what is it? There's fame and there's fortune, and I would rather have fortune versus fame, really. I mean, it is a strange thing. And I don't like, it made me realize, like, I don't really get, I'm not the kind of person, I wouldn't have gone into acting because I don't seek that. I didn't seek that attention on myself, that direct attention or wanting to be recognized and things like that. And of course, it's very nice. I mean, it is most wonderful. And, there's ways you can use it to your advantage. I've gotten out of a traffic ticket before. That kind of thing. But I mean, it's a weird thing. It's just weird. And the thing that I love, though, the most about it are these young kids that come in. They it's their birthday or their summer vacation, and their parents will take them to my office as their gift, like to say hello to me, and like a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, a little kid. And that is like that is the most wonderful thing, So that's something that I really do love about it. But I don't like that, you go to a beach and you think like, or, like, can I pick my nose here? Like there's something, you know what I mean? Like you feel like, am I being watched? And I have like this deal with my girlfriends that if we ever go out, somebody has to have more drinks than me. Cause like, I cannot be like the crazy one, So
do you find that people come to you and, I mean, in the most random places, like at a restaurant, and be like, oh my God, I'm such a huge fan. Can you take a look at this?
Oh, yes. But I got that. I mean, I got that before, but I guess I didn't get it to that degree. I think as dermatologists, you get the most curbside consults. I do have a little funny story. See, why are my stories like a little bit risque? This is not good. But I mean, when I was in medical school, we were in residence. No, we were already dermatologists. But we went on a cruise, and this was back a while ago, that cruises, like you had to sit with dinner, like with people, like we were sitting with like another couple for like 7 days, and the first night was like the formal night, and we were getting ready, and my husband was like, you know what? Let's just not tell them we're dermatologists, because if you tell them, automatically somebody's like, oh, my nephew, he's got psoriasis, and what can you do? And then look at this mole right here, let's just not do that. And I'm like, what? We're right about to leave. Like, what are you doing? I'm going to be sitting with these people for 7 days. I can't like lie, because they're going to catch me in my lie. And then like, what are you going to do? So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's say we're in the XXX industry. Let's just say that, because I think that will come up. And then I was like thinking, but what if they're in the XXX industry? Like now we're suckered into this, and then like now I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So we made a deal that I would say I'm a dermatologist, and he would say he's the office manager. So like he wouldn't get questions. I said I would take one for the team, which I'm doing, So now everywhere we go, that's what he does. Like that's what we do. Like if something goes, go in a circle and say what you do, And I'm like, he's like, I'm the office manager, you know? Yeah.
All right, one last question for me before I pass you over to Nathan and we get into the COVID conversation.
Only half? Oh my gosh! No, just kidding.
We've got some quickfire questions at the end where we're going to stop.
We got a lot more to go. So don't worry, we got some quick fire. But
Yeah, okay.
you know, I saw this video the other day. Somebody had a cyst on their forehead on one of your videos, and it was you were popping it, and a bunch of stuff comes out. How long are those kind of things growing under someone's skin? Like, how do they not seek out help sooner, or is it a rapid growth thing? I think that's the big question I have watching your videos. Like,
the question, I get all the time, and I think people say this in their mind, and I may even think this, you know, sometimes, though I wouldn't say it to a patient, you know. It can range. Honestly, if most of the things that I deal with on the show and in real life are thankfully not like eminently life-threatening. And in general, if I were to generalize, things that grow more quickly are probably going to be potentially life-threatening. In general, not in all cases. So I think that it's difficult. A lot of times people from other countries, not America, may blame it on the healthcare system. And I think there's something to be said about that. But I'm sure that there are people with like a unicorn cyst in other parts of the world, you know? And it has to do with the fact that these are not life-threatening things, and that people may not have insurance to pay for it, or they're scared to see a doctor, or they don't have the time to see a doctor. There's a lot of things that kind of get away from us, you know? And yeah, it's harder to hide if it's in the middle of your forehead, certainly. But as you probably could see, there are ways that people will have hidden it, or denial can be a big thing too, you know? So I don't the important thing is I don't try to fault them for it. I understand why it happens. I've certainly seen more than that person, you know, with the same sort of thing or even bigger. And it just, if I can, I'll try to help to make them better, you know?
I'm just always amazed because they look like they have so much pressure in them that I'm assuming it's been there for a while, that somebody's been living with that.
Probably a while, yeah.
Like on their back or on their shoulder or their arms. It's been there for a while. And I've suffered from cystic acne on my chest, my back, my face, my whole life.
Get it out.
I'm 40 and I still get it. I still break out on my back. If I dare not shower after the gym, it'll happen. So I'm like, and they're painful. And I see some of these massive ones. I'm like, how has somebody let it go that long? So that was just my.
Yeah, I think it's just people are different in the world. I mean, I will say I am a bad patient. I would probably be, you know, there's some people who are at the moment they got something, like, what is this? I'm going to the dermatologist, right? And there's some people like, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll be gone, you know?
So I want to talk a little bit about COVID. 4 to 6 months ago, most of the world was sitting pretty, and all of a sudden this virus hits us, and it's been massive. It's affected everyone. It's affected absolutely every single country in the world. And I just want to know, firstly, how has it affected you from a personal point of view?
I think it's affected me very similar to how it's affected everybody else. I mean, we're in a strange way, it's sort of comforting that it is like all of us. We're all in this boat together, you know? You know, it is definitely, we closed our practice, and then you worry about your staff, you worry about your business, you worry about your health, you worry about your parents. You know, my parents, like I said, are like a minute away from me, and I haven't been able to, you know, touch them, you know, for like a good over a month. And so I think it just affects me in the same way, other than I do know that I'm lucky that nobody really close to me has, you know, been devastated by this. So I guess I consider myself lucky that way. And it's just it's actually really, I think, different for a physician to be going through this in a way, because I think, like I joke a lot at work, I can talk about anything. I can talk about sex, I can talk about drugs, I can talk about religion. I cannot talk about politics. Like I don't do that, because it's a very uncomfortable situation And I'm much more like apolitical, and I don't love what's happening on social media and the stress that's involved, that everything is really so closely tied in there. And you sort of have this opinion. I have this opinion as a physician, from a physician's perspective, and I don't try to have any politics get involved. But then you see it all the time. So it's very, it's sad for me to see, actually, because I just think, I have, for my whole life, really, like with Facebook, for example, I've never been like, I can't stand this. Because, there's a lot of people that drop out. They can't handle social media and the things that it bothers them. And I've always been really proud that things don't really bother me that way. But like, I just can't, it's just annoying, all the fighting. I hate fighting. So I hate when I see people bicker and fight like that I know are friends, and I like both people equally, and I hate to see that. And it's a bummer.
Okay, so more on a positive note now.
Okay.
On the COVID.
I go down a deep hole? I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
No, it was good. No, very good answer. Very good answer. But I want to talk about, what's the one thing that, when all this is over and government restrictions are gone and you're allowed to do whatever you want, what's the one thing that you're missing that you really can't wait
I'm going to go to my mom's house and have dinner and like snuggle with them, of course.
Yeah,
that's
so
I mean,
cute.
yeah, the people that you want to be around, that you take it for granted before. I think that's, there's definitely silver linings with this. I definitely, my kids, they're going to be going away to college soon, and they may never live in the house again, and now they're forced to have dinner with me. How amazing is that for me?
Yeah.
And my cat, who's coming up right now, who's 20, she's old. I would never spend this much time with her. Come here, Dim Sum. Her name's Dim Sum. Let me see. You gotta have a cat in the video. That only increases.
Oh, look at that.
Baby.
Yeah. Don't get a white cat, though. I had no idea that have on you. But yes, she's a sweetheart. So things like that, and again, like, I think I'm of the thought that what the challenges you have in life help them to make you stronger, and the world will come out better for this, and I will be better for this. So think about all the things that you have taken for granted before, that now this has been a wake up call, and makes you appreciate. So.
That's
we would have never met, maybe, if it weren't for COVID.
No.
Yes. See?
And when you buy us drinks, all of us drinks all around, I'm going to thank COVID, I suppose, right?
and I promise Nathan will get more drunk than you, so that we're not so bad.
Yep. I promise that too.
Yes.
I'm learning. We are going to get into our quickfire questions, but before we do, I want to pull up this photo of you where I see you in this. I call it a J-Lo dress because it is absolutely stunning. You know which one I'm talking about?
Thank you. Yes.
You're receiving an award. This is some of the media stuff you do. Dr. Oz, your reality show, Dr. Pimple Popper. Tell me about this dress and the award you won, because you look like money, honey. That's beautiful.
That was like a dream. Okay. I won the Critics' Choice Award for fan favorite, like female fan favorite. It's an Israeli designer. Of course, the name escapes me, but it was my first like I got to go to Beverly Hills and go try on dresses. Where you endorse the dress. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Name, but it was, and I didn't eat for like 2 weeks. Right now I could not fit into the dress, sadly, but because of COVID. But but yes, it was like that. It was like a dream, and it was really something special, because who would have ever imagined? I would have never imagined that would be happening to me.
Well,
so
congratulations.
Thank you.
Most deserved. And you look stunning.
Thank you. The length of it too, was helpful. It's very similar. Just like the hair. Next time I'm going to do the hair.
No, the hair looks good. You have the side sweep of the hair.
Do like a pompadour and then come back, slick back. Oh my God. And then I'll look, skinny.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. Are you ready for quick fire questions?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Red or blue?
Red.
Black or white?
Oh, black.
Black or red?
Oh, red.
Burgers or pasta?
Pasta, of course.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza. Whatever it is, pizza.
Mom or dad?
Oh, I love both of them. They complement each other well. Like, I can't say. Different reasons.
Okay. Favorite drink?
Lychee martini, dry martini, vodka.
Amazing. Champagne or wine?
Champagne, I'd say. Or red wine, but champagne probably.
All right, get ready for the plug-in here, okay?
Okay.
Stuck in isolation for 12 more weeks. You bring one skincare product. What is it?
Oh, a skincare product? I mean, is my phone a skincare product? Because I can have my phone too? Because I need my phone.
SL.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't look at my pajama bottoms. My SLMD UV bounce, sunscreen, powder, easy over your makeup. Yeah, see, I can put it on right now. And you don't have it's your sunscreen, and you can put it on over your makeup, which is a big,
Reapplication every 2 hours. Perfect.
I'll send you some. I'll send you stuff for acne on the back too. We got an upside down spray, which is excellent.
I love it. My sister will get all over that SLMD. She's got melasma, so she's got a powder she brushes on. So we'll get her on that for sure. Okay.
My socks. I'm gonna give you my socks. Now you got me plugging.
Oh.
These are my favorite things. My merchandise. See these socks? You put them on, and it's like popping a pimple.
That is so good.
You off. You put these on, and you just pop their head, and then you put your feet up, and it says Pimple Popper.
All right. So I promise you a selfie wearing the socks, reading your book.
Okay.
And having my husband brush on.
Okay.
SLMD.
Yeah. Excellent.
Promise. Done. All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Nathan or me?
Oh, both equally. No, your hair. I love your hair too, but his hair.
He looks like an 80s news anchor right now. That's what
you too. Or like a swimmer. I feel like a competitive diver or something.
Thank you. You know what? I want my wife to cut my hair, and I wanted her to do it over the weekend, and she said, Nathan, there is no way I'm cutting your hair before Dr. Pimple Popper. I don't want to be the one person that ruins it and makes you look like an idiot before her interview.
I thought about getting the Flowbee. Have you ever heard of the Flowbee? I'm old.
Is that the one for split ends?
That's the one that it's like you connect it to a vacuum cleaner. I swear. And it's like, it has these different sizes, and it sucks your hair and cuts it the same length. It is like, it's like old school. Like, I think somebody needs to do a video about that, but I tried to find it and I couldn't. I got cat hair all over me. I couldn't, it was like really expensive on Amazon or something, but Flowbee.
Okay, I'm going to look into it.
Flowbee.
Yes.
Flowbee. I love that. All right. 2 questions from Nathan before we close the show.
Yeah, we always end our interviews with these 2 questions. So the first one is, what's your current skincare routine?
I have a pretty simple skincare routine. I just wash my skin mainly. I wash my hair, but I wash my skin mainly at night, and I simplify things, especially during this sheltering in place, because I actually feel like my skin has gotten better. My nails and my hair, because we are using less products on it. We are taking a little break. It's like a skin siesta during this time. And I think we're all going to come out with more gorgeous skin and, nails and hair. So simple retin-A at night, which is really important, really. If you can tolerate it, obviously over-the-counter is retinol, so that's more tolerable. And a nice salicylic acid cleanser from SLMD. That's actually my go-to, my main move to wash my face, and sunscreen.
Awesome. And before I ask the next question, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show. You've just got such amazing, bubbly personality.
You guys too.
Such a pleasure to have you on the show, and look after your family and look after everyone on the West Coast for us. and we'll be in touch.
Your haircut too. I really want to see it now.
Yeah, well, I'll send you a selfie when my wife's done it. You know what? I might even get her to shave it off.
Wait, so is this not your normal? See, because this is how I see you as a normal haircut. Then this is like clean cut, competitive swimmer guy. No,
no. This is just getting rid of a messy mop that hasn't been cut for how many weeks now.
Okay. I'm interested in seeing the real Nathan now.
Yeah, well, I'll send you a photo. But the last question we do is, who would you like to see on the show next? And can you help us?
Is it have to be a dermatologist?
No.
Nope.
Anyone you think that would be amazing on the show?
Ryan Gosling, of course. And I'll be there too.
If you can get it, can you help us get him on here?
Well, you could be my go-to, like you could be the wingman and like say, hey, are you a popaholic? You know, you could go out and ask them.
We can try.
I'll be there.
I'll reach out.
I mean, yeah, you got to reach for the stars, right? So, yeah, I mean, I could name a few characters that you could have otherwise that I think are more reachable.
If we get Ryan Gosling, would you like to be like a guest appearance? And you
of course.
Okay.
I will pop a pimple live for him. In I'll do it. I'll pull one for the team. All right.
I love you. You know, I want to say a massive thank you for being on Skinterviews. We're two small guys out of Canada that wanted people to get to know the doctors behind the profession. You know, we get to see you guys out there, and you like you said, curbside consults, and it's always about work. But there are some of you in this industry that have larger than life personalities and do so much more than just your job. You go above and beyond to really make awareness. And it was important for us to start this. And somebody with your type of following and at your level to take the time and do this means a lot to us.
Come on.
To our small following on Canada, I mean, you know, in 2 years from now, when we've got 5.3 million followers.
That's right.
I'll be like, it all
little people that remember us.
That's it. The little guys. So no, but seriously, a massive thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
I'm telling you, drinks next. I think they're on you.
They are. And you know, I will get you that. I make a really good lychee martini.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
We're going to actually do something. I'm excited. One of these gentlemen that I was the first person I ever did a collaboration with. His name is Tipsy Bartender on Facebook, and he's going to make a pimple teeny with me. We're going to make a lychee. I mean, lychee. I shouldn't even tell people what. I think a lychee is kind of like a cyst. Like you could squeeze something out of it.
I love it.
You know, I'm all excited about the ideas. I'm going to put a syringe through it, and we're going to figure it out.
Put a little grenadine syrup in that too.
Yeah,
There you go. That's amazing. Thank you so much again. One last time. Means so much to us to have you on. Hang tight backstage. We'll catch up with you in just a minute while we close up the show. Nathan, buddy, I hope your eye feels better. You got Dr. Sandra Lee looking at it. The whole world's looking at it. To all my little popaholics out there, I feel you. I love it just as much as you do. Thank you for watching Skinterviews by Nathan and George, especially this week that we celebrate leading women in the industry of medicine, whether they're dermatologists, plastic surgeons, whatever it may be. Celebrate the woman in your life, celebrate the people in your life, and take the time that we have right now available and spend it with your family and really love them. And we're not getting this time back. Go that extra mile. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another episode of Skinterviews.